everybody. Welcome back to Talk of the Now podcast. And this is Gene coming at you again today. And today I've got another special guest on. And I've been wanting to get a musical singer on, singer songwriters on. And today I brought in Aaron Watkins, who is a friend of mine's son. Aaron, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, buddy. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. I haven't really met Aaron or talked to him much. I knew him as a little boy because I knew his mom and I met him a couple times. And I've been following him over the last couple years because his mom posts pictures of him playing music. And you watch the Facebook and the YouTube videos about it, and you're like, well, that's pretty impressive. So I finally connected with Aaron at my other co-host's wedding, Jason, and so I was thinking the other day, well, why don't I just have you come on here and talk a little bit about music and everything. So give me a brief intro as far as where you grew up, what your big influences are, and how you got into music.
I got you. First of all, I got to say congrats to Jason. He got married.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Big congrats. Hope you're doing well, man. But anyway, oh, man. So I'm from Noonan, but, my mom's from the kind of near Atlanta, but we're all from the same area. So I'm from Noonan, been here all my life. And country music is a big thing in Noonan because, Alan Jackson, one of the most famous country singers of all time, is from here.
Absolutely.
They got a big mural of them, so you can't miss them. But, I grew up with country music, and I grew up watching my dad play and my mom play, but both on very different spectrums, like sides of the equation. My mom's like sheet music, flute, piano, church orchestra stuff. And my dad's like honky tonkin' in bars on the weekends. So it's a big difference. But I grew up watching my dad play with a dude named Tim Duggar and a couple other guys. But he was the one that mainly struck a chord with me on like being a singer and a guitarist is possible, and being able to entertain people is also possible. And but at first, man, I was so shy. So I picked up the guitar because my dad played, and I always wanted to play. So I picked it up, but I was really only into like Slash, Guns N' Roses. So I just picked around on a lot of classic rock at first. And then I started really getting into some country music when I heard a guy named Brent Mason, his guitar playing on a lot of the 90s albums. He has all the biggest riffs, like the Chattahoochee, well, the strings tuned down, but Chattahoochee, like, so that really made me want to get into country guitar, start getting into that. And then I just kind of got tired of being the guitarist that stands on the side. I wanted to do both. So I put it out there and started singing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Excellent.
all I about.
And we spoke a little bit briefly. You went to Georgia Southern and ended up leaving there, but some of that influenced your singing, and you kind of had that kind of helped you kind of find what you wanted to do next, didn't it?
Oh yeah, man. There was when I'd gotten down there, I mean, I got lucked out. I had the greatest roommates, you could ask for. They were great people. And we would have people over, and there were a few girls that were just, fine. So I wanted to figure out a way to impress them. They were all into country music. So I was like, all right, now's the time to try to shine. So I worked up the nerve and just kind of started singing because I always have a deeper voice. So I was kind of scared to sing stuff that was not deep.
Mm.
But I started it, and it got me a girl for a little bit. And I was like, all right, this has some potential.
The old play the guitar to get the girls.
Oh man,
I've heard that one. Georgia Southern's my alma mater, by the way.
Oh really?
Yeah. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm quite a few years ahead of you, but I was down there. I was down there for 4 years. Sorry.
What hall did you stay in?
Oh, I stayed in 2 or 3 places. I was weird. I had I started out at an apartment my first couple of years.
Yeah.
Probably heard of Park Place. I lived there for a little while. I think they've torn down some of the dorms that I was in. There used to be one called Dorman Hall that I was in, and they tore that place down, and it was over there kind of near the cafeteria area.
Over by Landrum?
Yeah. It was kind of like it was toward like the corner lot of the parking lot behind Landrum over by that road. I forget the name of it. That main road right there, the main
I know
drag where. Yeah, I stayed there, and there used to be a place called Hendricks Hall, and I lived there for a while. And
Yeah.
um, I can't even. I'd have to go back and think about the other places I lived. It's been so long now, but I lived for a couple of years though. I did live out in the dorms just because of roommate situations, and but it was interesting living on campus. So,
Oh
but
man, I
anyway, back.
didn't know you
So
did that. That's so cool.
yeah, yeah, man, I could tell you some stories. Every now and then I tell Jason the stories here on the podcast.
Y'all
Um,
ever go to Dingus?
oh yeah, Dingus McGee's, and when I was there was a place called Legends. I don't
Yeah,
know if you've heard of Legends. Uh,
I've heard
Probably
of
something
Legends
different now.
about.
It's called Legends Bar, and they had everything. Like they would have a lot of bands come through town.
Mhm.
Driving and Crying was a big. I was a big fan of them, and they came through town back in those days. And it was just a big mishmash of different bands that would come through town and play at Legends. I don't even know what the big place is now down there.
There ain't none. I
Uh,
mean, there's a couple, but they got Blue Room. That's about it. You know.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, but the place is, I know it's exploded since I was there, but I need to go back because once you go to a school, especially if you graduate, it's sort of like you're home away from home. So I like
Oh
to get
yeah.
down there whenever I can.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, for sure.
well, how about this? So, okay, let's talk a little bit about your influences. You talked a little bit about that. So you're kind of country, blues, rock. Is that sort of main genres you stick to with your own performing?
Oh yeah. Well, I would label myself as a country artist. That's mainly the stuff I do.
Okay.
But blues, Stevie Ray Vaughan. I got his initials tatted on my shoulder. Same thing that John Mayer has. So it's like an homage to both of them. But man, they're like blues. I started on classic rock, and I was like, this is cool, but I feel like it could be more. And then I found Hendrix, and I was like, holy crap.
Oh,
Then I
yeah.
found that led me to Stevie Ray Vaughan, and I saw Stevie Ray Vaughan's version of Voodoo Child. I believe it was Austin City Limits, maybe. And man, that blew me away. He tossed the guitar behind his back, started playing, and so I sat there for hours trying to figure out how to put it behind my back. And so now that made it into a part of the live show we do. But like him, Jimi Hendrix, Albert King, Keith Urban, Brad Paisley. I mean, all these dudes, Slash even.
Oh wow, yeah, yeah. Well, Stevie Ray Vaughan. I mean, talk about one of the most gifted players ever born. That guy. Can you imagine being his brother, Jimmy Ray Vaughan, and like, okay, this is my brother. Jimmy Ray Vaughan's a good guitarist in his own
Yeah, he's
right,
great. He's very
but
different though, very different.
to have Stevie Ray as your brother is sort of like having, Jimmy Page or Jimi Hendrix as your brother. It'd be kind of weird.
Well, he Stevie Ray got in it because he watched his brother get in it,
Really?
I
So
believe.
okay.
And his brother was actually making a name for himself before Stevie Ray was even on the scene. So I wonder how it felt. I wonder if he felt a little jealous
Yeah.
that Stevie Ray blew up like he did.
I mean, yeah, that'd be like being a great golfer, and then your brother comes in and he becomes the next Tiger Woods or something.
Exactly. It's like, well, people know you as Tiger Woods' brother instead of who you are. A lot of
Right.
people do.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, sadly enough, as much as I am of an '80s fan, '80s music fan, I'm trying to remember Fabulous Thunderbirds. That was Jimmy Ray Vaughan's
Yeah,
band.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So, well, do you want to play something? Do you want to play any kind of like country music to start with?
Yeah, man. I play a Morgan Wallen cover.
Okay.
I saw my buddy do this at a place called Grazing here named Hunter Callahan. Go check out his music. But he started playing the song. I was like, "What is that?" So I asked him. It's like it's a Jason Isbell song called "Cover Me Up." I looked it up, and all I could see was Morgan Wallen. Morgan Wallen. Come to find out, Jason Isbell probably the best songwriter of this generation. I would say one of the best.
Hmm.
And Morgan Wallen covered it, and it blew up. And man, that one really struck a chord in me. With also wanting to start to sing, so I'm gonna do that one for you. A heart on the run keeps a hand on a gun. Can't trust anyone. Well, I was so sure what I needed was more. Tried to shoot out the sun. In days when we raced, we flew off the pain. such damage was done. But I made it through, 'cause somebody knew I was meant for someone. So girl, leave your boots by the bed. We ain't leaving this room. Till someone needs medical help or the magnolias bloom. It's cold in this house and I ain't going out to chop wood. So cover me up, know you're enough to use me for good. I put your fate to the test when I tore off your dress in Richmond all night. Well, I sobered up, I swore off that stuff forever this time. And the old lovers say they thought it'd be me who'd help them get on. But home was a dream, one that I'd never seen till you came along. So girl, leave your boots by the bed. We ain't leaving this room. So Percy Priest breaks open wide and the river runs through and carries this house on a storm like a piece of driftwood. So cover me up and know you're enough to use me for good. It's a little Morgan Wall and Jason Isbell.
Man, excellent. So that's so now you're living in Noonan, back in Noonan, I guess. Have you been gigging a lot over the last couple of years?
Oh man, the past couple of years, I think I had my first gig as a lead guitarist about 2 years ago, and I was still pretty shy, so I really wasn't able to bring everything I had because I'd be nervous, my fingers be shaking so much. But this past November, I got my first gig at this little Mexican restaurant, and I played that, and I was nervous because not the public hadn't heard my voice, if you know what I'm saying. Like, friends hearing your voice, it's different because most of the time they're not going to hurt your feelings. But public, when I found that they enjoyed what I was doing, that made me feel confident. And so from there, I've just done everything I can, had great mentors in marketing and getting my name out there, and just grinding every single day, emailing, Facebook Messenger. That's how I get most of my gigs. And so it went from me looking forward to one gig a month, pretty much for the first 2 months. And now it's big gigs with a full band, playing for nice crowds. I'm still obviously not there yet, but it's cool to see the progress in such a short amount of time.
Yeah, absolutely. When do you mainly gig down there in the Southeast Atlanta area?
Yeah, for right now, LaGrange, Noonan, Peachtree City, Fayetteville, up in Palmetto a little bit, but let's see, August 5th and then September 3rd, we're going over to Wadowee. There's a marina bar over there. We're going to get the whole band over to Wadowee. Going to probably get a couple photographers to come out there with me and get some nice shots. And it's going to be a cool event. That'll be real cool.
Okay. Well, let's see. I was trying to think what song you might do next. You want to maybe jam out for a few minutes on the guitar and You could do acoustic or electric if you want to.
On there. All right, got to break out the Strat. That's my
Okay.
Stevie.
Very nice. Yeah.
But
Whenever
yeah,
you're ready.
this is what I love doing is playing guitar. I sing so I can play, but a lot of people don't want to hear, you know, 3 hours of shredding. If you
Yeah.
know.
Well, classic rock is my favorite, so you're right in my
Oh
wheelhouse.
yeah. Can you hear this?
Yeah. Yep. Whenever you're
Too
ready, go
loud?
ahead. I think
Too
that's
loud?
good.
All right. So like, I grew up, watching Stevie do that. Stuff like that, and like Scuttlebutton's one that I always wanted to learn, and it was like a pain. But then I finally kind of started to get it. The one it goes like. Stevie Ray Vaughan. That's from the Try album. That's a Wait
Oh
Until
yeah.
Tomorrow.
Very nice. How about do you know any of the like other instrumental guitar songs? Like I was trying to think. There used to be a song called "Don't Run, Don't Walk." You ever heard that one before?
Who's on?
You know, I can't even remember who sang that one. But it's a cool one. Anyway, I don't know if there's another. Is there any other instrumental guitar ones you know that are kind of famous?
Man, I can do. There's one called. Always with me, always with you, or Cliffs of Dover. You know either of those?
Oh yeah, that's an excellent one. Yeah.
Let's see. We can do a little Cliffs of Dover.
Yeah, give us a little tune down of that.
Can you hear it? What do you say?
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Something like that. Or then you got the. How's it? Man, I'm putting this along. Or you got that solo is one that we always do. It's probably one of my favorite parts of the show. Kind of hit it with that. you know, just
Yeah, that's excellent.
sweet Guns N' Roses.
Are you a big Guns N' Roses fan?
I used to be, not
Yeah,
not as much anymore, but that
yeah.
was sick.
I mean, well, Slash is. It's interesting how some people can kind of carve out their own niche, with their own style. Kind of like Jack White. For a while, I was
Yeah,
listening
for
to a lot of
sure.
his stuff. Um, I think that's cool. Do you what do you think that you think as far as the future goes? Do you hope to just sort of keep going with gigging and seeing where it goes, or do you think that Nashville could potentially be in the future as a potential?
Well, Nashville is one of those things that I have a buddy who's up in Nashville playing on Broadway,
Mm.
and he's killing it. He's killing it. But Nashville's a very tough scene, and there was a point last year at Georgia Southern I kind of gotten broken up with, and I was not having it, and so I was like, I got to get out of here, and it sucked that she lived just a few doors down from me. So it's like I got to get out of here. So I was so close to going to Nashville. I was like, I'm gonna go to Nashville. I'm just gonna move up there. I even told Dad I'm gonna move up there. And then I had a talk with a buddy, my Daniel Williams, who also was another huge inspiration for me singing. And he was like, with social media, Nashville can be anywhere. And I was like, that's a really good point. And so I stopped my focus on going far and just focus, instead of focusing on being a little fish in such a big pond,
Yeah,
I wanted to focus on being a big fish in a little pond, working that way first. You gotta walk before you can run type thing. And so I built it up around here. So far in the past year, we've come a long way. I mean, it's crazy that it might not be a huge accomplishment overall, but to me it is, because I've watched myself grow. And so recently I got hooked up with, I played a gig, and these two guys come over and watch me play. I didn't really know who they were at first, but then introduced themselves, and one of them was Will Turpin from Collective Soul,
oh wow.
and one of them is Brian Collins, who's another phenomenal singer songwriter guy, and they have a studio called Reel to Reel Studios over in Jonesboro, and it's like, man, it's big deal. It's really nice. So I went over there. They told me to come over there, check it out, checked it out, and recently, went over there, got to hang out with them, try to write a little bit, went out and got some Mexican food. So it's really cool to get to know these people, and just
Hmm.
hanging around the studio is nice. And we're looking at soon getting a few songs, recorded, because that's kind of the next step in the process, is to get my originals out there, because you can only go so far doing covers.
Right, right. Did you meet Ed Roland when you went over there?
Oh no, he's not over there. In fact, Will's not over there a lot recently. He's touring with Collective Soul
Okay,
as right now, but no, he's the only one I've met out of them. But
okay.
him and Brian Collins, who run the studio.
Gotcha, gotcha. I big huge fan of Collective Soul back in the '90s.
So yeah, get that. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. There was a while there where I could just name off songs from them. There
Oh
were so
man,
many
really?
that I liked. Yeah, especially their second album, which I believe was entitled Collective Soul, self-titled album,
Mhm.
is probably one of my favorite CDs of all time.
Really?
And I actually went to church with a guy named John Rowland, who's Ed's brother. And I got to know John for a little while, and he's a really cool guy. I never actually met Ed, or believe it or not, I've only seen Collective Soul one time over in Sugar Hill, Georgia. So that was the only
Oh yeah.
time that I got to see them. They were one of my heroes back in the '90s as far as music goes. That and,
Oh yeah.
and the old band Journey, of course.
Oh
Everybody likes
yeah.
little Journey.
I love Jeremy. I
uh,
love him.
So well, that's cool to hear that. I like that approach. And I know nothing about the music industry other than what I've seen on documentaries and read about. But I like that approach because I believe that's true with just about anything, even having a podcast, is that you starting small and working your way up and finding a tribe, if you will, of people that follow you. And I mean, any of the greats. I mean, people like even some of these jam bands like Widespread Panic in Atlanta was a big one for a long time.
Oh yeah.
And I think
Spreadhead.
And I think they made their way through Atlanta that way or something, somewhere like that. They just kind of worked small. And even but you're right about that because the Beatles, they started out doing nothing but covers, blues and old rockabilly covers and stuff like that. And then they worked into working their own musical style and lyrics as they went along. So I think that that's the right approach.
That's how you have to do it because, in all honesty, as much as I'd hate that the way this is, but when you go to a bar or restaurant, somewhere that has live music, and you hear someone that you don't know playing originals and all originals, a part of you isn't into it and not related enough to it as if it were like them doing covers that you know and you can sing along. So that the hard part about getting your own stuff out there is most people want to hear tribute bands covers. So you got to integrate it. Like
Right.
if your set list is 20 songs, three originals, rest covers, and then just build from there. As people know your originals, then you can start doing more and more. That's what I've
Uh,
learned at least.
yeah, absolutely. Because I've heard, well, if you think about even people like Elton John, even some of these
Mhm.
people that have been around for 50 years, Elton John, um, Bruce Springsteen, even they still do covers. Like if you go to any of these big, I'd be willing to bet that even Guns N' Roses and I've seen U2 is one of my favorite bands. And when you go to their concerts, they'll still do covers. Like you'll hear U2, they'll do a cover of a Billy Joel song.
Oh
Billy
yeah,
Joel will do a cover of a an Elvis song or something like that. I think that kind of shows your vocal variety and your ability to, I guess, do things in your own style.
and it's
Speak,
fun.
yeah,
It's just fun to play
yeah,
covers.
absolutely, absolutely. Um,
Yeah, I mean, even
well,
like Guns N' Roses has a few covers, like "Knocking on Heaven's Door" is not theirs.
right, Live and Let
They
Die,
do yeah, "Live and Let Die." That's what I was thinking of. The Beatles.
Paul
I mean, that's
McCartney.
yeah, that's a killer song. Both of them are. So
I mean, trying to do a Paul McCartney cover.
it takes guts.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, it's
Uh,
cool. Cool covers are cool because people do them to a way where it's not the same as the original, and they put a cool twist. Like I was listening today, Cody Johnson did a version of Long Haired Country Boy. And he has just enough to where it's respectful to the Charlie Daniels, but it's still has its own little twist in it, which I think is so cool.
hmm All right, let's do. You want to do one more song? You want to do Aaron's pick? You want to pick whatever you want to do? It could be country, it could be rock, it could be jamming, whatever you feel like doing.
Yeah, let's see.
Or
And
I can
what's some of
pick.
your favorite country songs?
Oh man, I was just with your style, I was almost. This isn't country so much, but I was kind of thinking an Eagles song might be cool if you know any Eagles songs. Do you know any Eagles?
Man,
Tequila Sunrise is a great one.
that's a killer one. I used to know Peaceful Easy Feeling, but
Yeah,
honestly, I kind of forgot that one.
that's all right. How about anything by George Strait or
I can
Alan
do George
Jackson?
Strait. I can do George Strait all day. What's your favorite George Strait song?
Now that's I don't really have a favorite one, but I do like generally like most anything he does. It's been a while since I was into his stuff a lot, but he is the king of country. I was trying to think of what my favorite one was of his. Amarillo by Morning used to be one of my favorites.
Man, that's a good one. Let's see.
But if you know another one better, by all means, do one that you're most familiar with.
You ever heard uh, "You Look So Good in Love" or "The Chair"?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Are you pick "You Look So Good in Love" or "The Chair"?
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I don't know the chair, but I do know. I,
All right,
I
so
didn't. I didn't realize you were giving me another song title.
oh
So go
no.
ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, how you sparkle, oh, how you shine. Flush on your cheeks is more than the wine. And he must do something that I didn't do. Whatever he's doing, it looks good on you. You look so good in love. You want him? That's easy to see. That you look so good in love. I wish you still wanted me. For he must have stolen some stars from the sky and gave them to you to wear in your eye. Well, I had my chances, but I set you free. And now I wonder why I couldn't see you look so good in love. You want him? It's easy to see that you look so good in love. And I wish you still wanted me. You look so good in love. You want him? That's easy to see. You look so good in love that I wish you still wanted me. King George. Can't get better than him.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. I'm a man. All those old '80s and '90s country music legends. That was Alan Jackson, Randy Travis. A lot of those guys. They're just even Garth Brooks.
Oh, yeah,
Those.
you got the.
Uh-huh. Garth is just a. He was what you were talking about earlier. I think he was the full package. I think that he appealed to such a large audience. I mean, not many. I don't know if many artists, let alone country artists, could go to Central Park and draw 200,000, however many fans that was that time he did the Central Park.
No way, especially in New York. I mean, that's wild. Like George Strait went up to New York and did that. He would pull a
Uh-huh.
lot of people. I don't think he'd pull that much.
Yeah, yeah. So
But
that's
like
incredible.
Garth Brooks, you were mentioning Garth Brooks, the way he integrated stuff, country and pop, almost. In my opinion, Garth Brooks started the pop country trend in a way. But I still consider Garth country. But he says a song like Rodeo that mixes a lot of blues. You know, it's which boils down to his eyes are cold and restless, and his wounds have almost healed. You know, it's
Hmm.
blues at the very bottom of it,
Right.
and people love it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's how music works, it evolves. I mean, you think about people, I can't imagine how people felt about some of the innovators like even Willie Nelson back in the
Mhm.
70s as he kind of changed everything in his own Texas kind of way. And some of the other newer ones of the time, if you will, like Kenny Rogers, even when he came up. Kenny Rogers was he had a rock band for a while.
Kenny
So,
Rogers is another one that flew across a lot of platforms. You know,
oh
not just
yeah,
country,
absolutely.
but like Willie. I mean, Willie started out with the suit and tie Nashville scene, and he
Hmm.
was a writer before he even broke big. I mean, he was in Nashville a long time before he even broke big.
Let me ask you this: Are you have you ever got into listening to? I imagine most artists have. Hank Williams Sr. Was
Oh
he?
yeah, oh yeah, man. I like
Yeah.
his stuff's so good. Let's go honky
Sorry,
tonkin'
say that again.
honky tonkin'. Love it.
Yeah.
All his stuff. It's so groundbreaking, you know, for a country.
Right. Well, I was listening. I say that because I was watching an interview with Brian May of Queen the
Hmm.
other night, and he talked about how he went back and listened to some older, like old country, like we're talking 1940s, 50s country music, and it's amazing how you have those two influences that they go toward each other. You know, blues, rock, rhythm, jazz. They all kind of intermesh in a lot of ways, and they're kissing cousins. It's so
Oh, yeah.
funny to me.
And a lot of people think country is so different from blues, but most people would say Hank Sr. is the father of country music, kind of. Like 50s, he
Hmm.
kind of started it all. But if you watch a lot of interviews with Hank Jr., his son, he'll tell you that they had Lightning Hopkins, BB King hang around their house, and that's like blues. That's polar opposite. And so Hank Jr. even is a big blues guy. He got an album all blues, a
Oh
few
wow!
albums all blues.
Can you play a
And
few
so
blues riffs for me?
yeah, uh,
Just kind of old school.
where you got your kind of blues you talking?
Well, I'm just thinking like old Delta blues, kind
Oh
of
yeah,
Chicago Delta blues stuff.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
That's
What?
how it started.
Yeah. All right, Aaron. Well, let us do this. We're going to close it out, but where can people find you if they want to find you on social media and whatnot?
Let's see. I'm on Instagram, Aaron Watkins, Facebook, Aaron Watkins Music, and TikTok, Aaron Watkins Music. Also, they're all pretty much Aaron Watkins Music.
Okay.
But I also have a sponsorship with a brand Rural around the area. RURL. It's pronounced rural, but without the A. And they have a lot of. If you like this hat, they got a
Okay.
lot of gear just like this. Shirts. This is a shirt they made for me. It's got my name on it, name on the back, and their logo right here. And if you use the code Aaron is rural, AARONISRURL, you get 15% off your order. And my merch for the website's going to be up soon, so make sure to go check that out.
And what's your website?
It's not my website; it's their website.
Oh, it's their website. Okay.
It'll be their website, but my merch will be on it.
On their website. Oh, okay, excellent. And you're always and people if they live in the Atlanta area, they can check you out just through those social medias. They want to go see you play sometime.
Oh yeah, I got everything on Instagram, mostly Facebook. I do post. I post more, not personal stuff, but less dates on Instagram than I do Facebook. But I'll post big stuff on Instagram. Like there's a Harley dealership down here, and we got a full band show coming up, an event down there. So I put that on my Instagram. So that'll be a good one. But yeah,
Okay.
Facebook, Instagram, anything
So
like that.
you think you can maybe schedule something for the North Atlanta area sometime so I can come out and check you out?
I've been trying to do that, or not. Honestly, I haven't been really trying. I've been looking at places because I'd love to get Uncle Keith out.
Yeah.
Grandparents. There's so many people from my mom's side of the family that are up there that I don't want them to have to travel so far.
Yeah, man. You have to maybe check out somewhere like in Duluth or the Lawrenceville area, somewhere like that. That'd be really cool.
If you find happen to stumble across a place, let me know.
Well, one place that I think does music. There's a place in downtown Lawrenceville called McCrae's um, Tavern, I believe, and they're
Hmm.
downtown Lawrenceville. If you look them up, they might actually be willing to have you come out there sometime. They're really they're pretty cool little place. And I believe they got a stage and all too.
I'm gonna get you to text me that exact name because I'm not
All
gonna
right,
remember how to spell it.
that'll work. All right. Well, I'm gonna let you. How about we just do like a little jamming before we go out, and then we'll end it.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
All right.
All right, this one is
Aaron Watkins, everybody.
this is like a guitarist. Have you ever heard the song Neon by John Mayer?
I think so. Yeah.
It's one that's been a pain in the butt for so many guitarists, and I spent probably the better part of 3-4 years just trying to learn this one riff, and I'm working on it, so I'm almost there. But it's you ever heard that one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I recognize the main riff there, man. All right. Well, Aaron, I'm going to let you go, brother. Thanks for coming on, and maybe we'll have you on another time in the not too distant future, and we'll chat some more and let you play some more.
Man, that'd be fun. I appreciate you having me on. I hope to get Jason on next time or something.
Yeah. Actually, a lot of times we do talk on Thursday nights, and I was hoping to have him join the call, but I think he was preoccupied. But
Oh
I'll
yeah.
tell him. I'll tell him about what he missed out on.
Oh yeah. Tell him.
All right.
Yeah,
Thanks. And
yeah. I'd love to get him on sometime if you ever have me on again. That would be fun.
oh yeah. All right. Well, thanks, man, and thanks everybody for joining us, and have a great day. Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you, brother.